From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, March 11th. We are waking up to storm damage in the northern part of the state. Suspected tornadoes at this point. Expect more scattered rain and storms this morning. A few storms could be in 2 rounds throughout the day. Here's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey with the weather that we've had overnight and what's ahead this morning.
Very destructive storms, likely strong tornadoes in northwestern Indiana late last night. It is now our turn. Thankfully, these storms don't have quite the punch that the storms up north had. In fact, as we take a live look at Storm Tracker, it's warning free. Now, these are still pretty noisy storms. I'll kind of turn the lightning strikes on. You can see a lot of activity right now. And we've been watching some of these storms now into Madison County. This one in particular here might have a little bit of hail with it. It's been around a ½ inch at times and moving to the north and east. We're also scooting down into Hamilton County, where we see some heavier downpours around Sheridan, and then over toward Boone County, and then back into Hendricks County. Again, none of these storms are severe as of right now. We'll see if these kind of pulse up. They are moving to the north and east around 45 miles per hour here to the north and east. And there are more storms waiting on us back out toward Illinois. So we are going to be in this for the long haul. In fact, it comes in a 2-wave event here. One this morning, another one this afternoon. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, all in play, especially for this morning wave as this cold front marches through here for today. And it's a slow mover, and that's why we've got kind of 2 waves coming through. Our severe weather window for the morning now through 11 o'clock. We maybe get a brief lull around lunchtime, and then 2 to around 5 o'clock for the second window of opportunity for severe weather before it's all said and done later tonight. It is warm. 71, winds out of the west at 18, and it's super muggy. We had dew points as high as 70.
The Lake Township Fire Chief says multiple homes are destroyed after Lake Village took a direct hit from last night's storms. There are videos that we have from different viewers. One from Colin Tomaskowski in Lake Village in Newton County shows a building destroyed in one end, and the other you could see just down trees. Indiana State Police confirmed that there are injuries, but they've not said the exact number or the people's conditions. The Newton County Sheriff says North Newton Junior High School is open for anyone who's displaced because of the storms. North Newton schools are also sending out a bus to help transport people in need. We are getting pictures, too, of the damage in Newton County. You can see them on wishtv.com. You can see what looks like to be a gas station damaged and a semi that had a car as well, covered in debris. Indiana State Police say they are holding a press conference at 7 this morning about the storm damage. We'll have that press conference live on Daybreak. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez is on his way to Lake Village this morning, and we'll have more on damage throughout the day on wishtv.com. People in Newton County and other northwestern parts of the state are without power this morning. According to poweroutage.com, more than 4,600 people in Lake County are in the dark. 1,800 outages are reported there. That's nearly 30% of the customers tracked in the area, and there are 1,700 outages in Jasper County. We're going to stay updated on the power outage numbers and keep you updated throughout the morning on Daybreak. Severe storms also hit part of Illinois yesterday. We have some video of a suspected tornado in Kankakee County, Illinois. That's about 40 minutes drive from Newton County, Indiana, and about an hour from Chicago. Officials say they are investigating the damage as well as possible injuries. We're learning this week that Governor Mike Braun asked the federal government last year for permission to charge drivers tolls to travel on I-70. The governor says the revenue would be used to widen the interstate to 6 lanes statewide. News 8's Scott Sandoval got reaction from drivers.
Majority of drivers I spoke to aren't happy. This was first reported by the Indiana Capital Chronicle. Now, the proposal includes a toll rate of 10 cents per mile for cars and SUVs. That's about $15.60 to drive a car across Indiana on Interstate 70.
I think that's going to put a lot of strain on a lot of people because it's a pretty major artery.
I-70 stretches 156 miles from east to west. It was originally constructed as a 4-lane highway, but the toll would pay to widen it to 6 or more lanes. Portions of I-70 are currently already tolled in Pennsylvania and Kansas.
It seems like the thing's already always under maintenance anyway, so I don't know what else they're going to do.
Some want to focus on local roads.
Not the biggest fan of it. My biggest, harp on the whole ordeal is I'd just rather have clean roads that we can drive on with no traffic and potholes.
Elkis Geronimo just moved from Florida 6 months ago. She tells me she's used to paying tolls and doesn't mind it.
Well, the government need that money. Well, because the other way, you need to spend more time driving if you don't pay.
We received hundreds of comments online. One commenter says Indiana residents should be exempt from the toll. It's undue burden on those with daily work commute. Another says, would be glad to see it. I'd rather pay to play and ensure I'm driving on a great road rather than the pothole-laden I-70. One viewer was pretty clear. How about no? You already tax us on everything else. We don't need more fuel to the fire. If the federal government approves the state's application, drivers won't start paying tolls until 2029. Reporting in the studio, I'm Kat Sandoval, Wish TV, wishtv.com.
Prosecutors have charged the man accused of hitting an IMPD officer and security guard with a car. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says 28-year-old Derek Bryant faces multiple charges, including resisting law enforcement and drunk driving. Investigators say Bryant was leaving the Supercross event at Lucas Oil Stadium Saturday night when he hit a security guard on South Meridian, then hit the IMPD officer in the leg and pinned the officer's arm inside the car. Officers say Bryant ran from the scene, but police caught him in front of IMPD's downtown roll call building on West Louisiana Street. City leaders are rolling out plans to help keep young people safe as spring break and warmer weather brings more teenagers downtown. News 8's Malia Van Ostrin shows us how IMPD plans to do that with accountability and outreach.
Police say part of that plan includes an increased presence downtown and reinforcing Indiana's curfew law for anyone under 18. Before curfew begins, officers will make curfew announcements over patrol car public address systems. Indigo buses will also make announcements. Children under 15 can't be in public after 11 p.m. or before 5 a.m. any day without an adult.
For children ages 15, 16, or 17, they may not be in a public place between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. on Saturday or Sunday. And after 11 p.m. on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or before 5 a.m. Monday through Friday.
If a young person is found out past curfew, they will be taken to what officials are calling the Connection Center, a confidential location staffed by NDP's volunteers, IMPD officers, and community partners.
Youth will be met with care, provided snacks and drinks, and we can surround them with resources and people who are trained to help youth find alternative recreational opportunities.
Crystal Hines is the CEO of Inner Beauty Program Incorporated, a local organization that aims to teach self-awareness and empowerment to young girls. But she was able to help teens by canvassing the downtown area.
We were able to tell them that, hey, it's time to go home, it's time to get on the bus, or time to call your Uber or your parents.
She says sometimes teens come to her program through the Department of Child Services, juvenile probation, or schools, but she says it's important to reach kids by meeting them where they are.
We need to be boots on the ground to let them know that we're here, we're ready to listen, and we're ready to put you in the proper places and spaces so that you have opportunities to do well.
The Connection Center will be open the evenings of March 13th and 14th. If contact with a parent or guardian isn't made by 4 a.m., the teen will be taken to the Juvenile Detention Center. IMPD says it won't be considered an arrest and there won't be a criminal record, as the goal is to keep kids safe.
It gives officers a tool to intervene early, return young people home safely, and prevent situations from escalating into violence or victimization.
IMPD says safety and the well-being of the youth remains a shared priority, and their efforts aim to support families and keep downtown and neighborhoods safe for everyone. In studio, I'm Leah Van Ostran for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
The Pentagon says the U.S. has sank 16 of Iran's mine-laying vessels near the Strait of Hormuz. Officials also say that about 140 U.S. service members have been injured, and the civilian death toll is more than 1,300. Sherelle Hubbard has the latest.
Today will be, yet again, our most intense day of strikes inside Iran.
At a Pentagon briefing on the war with Iran Tuesday, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the U.S. will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. The White House doubling down on that messaging, saying the war's timeline is according to President Trump's clock.
When the commander-in-chief determines the military objectives have been met and that Iran is in a position of complete and unconditional surrender.
Trump took to Truth Social Monday night and threatened to escalate further, saying Iran would be hit 20 times harder if it blocked the flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Two sources familiar with U.S. intelligence telling CNN Iran has begun laying mines in the strait in recent days. The war spiking oil and gas prices
Is temporary, and this operation will result in lower gas prices in the long term.
Key Senate Democrats emerged from a classified briefing on the war. They argued that Americans cannot afford to be involved in another war.
There's no time to pay attention to how families are paying more, but there's $1 billion a day to go to the Middle East and drop bombs on Iran.
We think this war is illegal. American troops are being injured, more than 100 injured, 7 died.
And the White House says the president isn't ruling out the possibility of putting boots on the ground. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Okay, sports now to college basketball. IU will have to break a streak if they want to move on in the Big Ten tournament today. The Hoosiers take on Northwestern in the second round tonight. IU needs a win to help their NCAA tournament case too. The Hoosiers have lost 6 straight games to the Wildcats and have not beaten them since 2021. Tip-off is at 6:30 tonight at the United Center in Chicago. Purdue's Braden Smith is making history. Media members and coaches have named Smith first team All Big Ten for the 3rd straight season. He's the first Purdue player with the honor since the great Rick Mount from 1968 to 1970. Purdue takes on the winner of the IU Northwestern game in the 3rd round of the Big Ten tournament tomorrow. Here in Indianapolis, Green Bay and Wright State get the Horizon League's bids to the NCAA basketball tournaments. Both championship games were played at Corteva Coliseum at the State Fairgrounds. Green Bay takes on the women's Horizon League title. They take it 57-49 over Youngstown State. Wright State heads to the men's big dance. They knocked off Detroit Mercy last night, 66-63. Wish TV is ready for March Madness, and we want you to join us in this year's Bracket Bonanza. You could win a Yeti Tundra cooler and beverage package. You can sign up between now and Tuesday. That's March 17th. Go to wishtv.com to do it. And we'll see you in the madness. With just 74 days left until the Indy 500, you can now get tickets to the annual 500 Festival Parade. Those tickets went on sale yesterday. Organizers say this year's theme is Racing Through History, celebrates the parade's 70th running, and will pay tribute to its history with floats, 33 IndyCar drivers, and more. Tickets start at $25. The parade is set for May 23rd at noon. And this has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.